cooperation, and many people were ready to sacrifice their time, their energy to make this a great success. I want to thank Raman Prabhu and of course Namavata Prabhu and all the devotees who worked tirelessly, especially Sai Prabhu. He's not here, but he did a Herculean task this year, organizing everything, so that before he left, it was easy for us to set up and break down. He also remotely surveyed everything that was going on to make sure it all went on in a very organized way. So we owe great gratitude and thanks to Sai Prabhu. Also, how many volunteers do we have? Do we have 300 volunteers? 500 volunteers. More than 500 volunteers. That's a tremendous, unbelievable number of people that volunteered. And to accommodate them, we had our volunteer booth. And many people in the food booths were relieved to see that there was a volunteer booth where people could go to get prasadam instead of waiting in line or coming behind the lines to get prasadam. So that also worked out good. And the idea of renting many trucks to break down. Whose idea was that? Was it Sai or whose idea? Sundar and Sai. That was a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. And because of that, we were able to break down very quickly while there were still volunteers present to load the trucks and empty the trucks. And of course, Janmastami, and especially our Sanjay Prabhu, who conceived, of course I gave him the theme, but he conceived many of the novel interactive activities that took place in the Vedic village. And to prove that it's a success, just today I received at least 10 phone calls of people who wanted to visit the Goloka farm. That's 10 families, each family 6, 7 people. So today, close to 60 people visited the farm. More people are coming tomorrow. Every day we're getting phone calls now.
Because they saw the cows?
Yeah, because we had a card, Goloka farm. And
I also read the email Puja Mataji forwarded.
Yeah.
From Dr. Ramanathan.
Dr. Ramanathan, yes. Dr. Ramanathan is a prominent member of the Indian community in Seattle. He's been watching us for years, and he comes every year to Ananda Mela. Every year. And he appreciated very much how well everything was organized. And he's going to come and visit the farm. And he's a professor emeritus of accounting at the University of Washington. So he's retired now, but he's had a very successful professional career as an educator in the University of Washington. He's one of the early, let's say, people who settled in the United States from Indian origin and had succeeded in his career. He explained his story to me. He came here with no money, and he was able to get a scholarship, and then a few people really helped him out. A few American people helped him out because they saw he was a aspiring, intelligent young man from India. And he rose to be head of the Department of Accounting at University of Washington. So, and he's one of the founders of the Bothell Hindu Temple, as well as he's done a lot of other things. And above all, he's a Mayavadi, but that's all right. We'll excuse that. But he's a very nice gentleman, and he appreciates very much our activities. So, as I said in that email, what people notice above all is cooperation. Now, if we had 500 volunteers, that's cooperation among 500 people who are not getting paid for what they're doing. They're giving their heartfelt offering of service to make it a success. They notice cooperation, they notice good behavior of the devotees, and they notice good organization. So that speaks for itself, whether it's in the temple or in Ananda Mela. If those three elements are present, and above all that, the fact that there is a spiritual underpinning of the whole thing, that people are actually on a spiritual path, and because of that, there is cooperation, there's good behavior, there's organization, and joy. Now, joy is the most important thing, happiness and joy, because what differentiates Krishna consciousness from impersonalism and from all other types of philosophy is anandamaya vyasat. The nature of the living entity is to be always conscious and joyful. That's the nature. So therefore the name of our festival is Joyful Festival of India, or Ananda Mela. So if they see joy, happiness, and that's not only the theme, but that's actually the environment, then they're very attracted. Because that's the nature of the soul, to be happy. Anandamaya Vyasat. This is Vedanta Sutra, first chapter, and the 12th verse of the first chapter of the Vedanta Sutra. So, when a person experiences the joyful nature of spiritual life, it awakens their yearning in the heart for eternal joy and life and consciousness. So Ananda Mela is not just a social event. It has a deep spiritual, let's say, significance for people. And I really think that most of the people that came to I know one person that was not happy. I know one person that was not happy. Why? Because he's just a businessman, and he's basically jealous of what we did. But his wife was very happy. I'm not going to mention who he is. His wife was very happy. He left and she stayed. He's a person who's tried to organize festivals himself, and they all flopped. So that proves it's not easy to organize such a big festival. And one proof of that is that no one else has dared try yet to organize. They've made some tries, but they were all flops. To organize such a big festival, have so many volunteers, spend so much money, and it's just a 2-day effort, and then you set it up, and then you break it down, and it takes months for preparation. And it all has to happen in 2 days, where you set up and break down, and everything has to be clean the next day, after such a huge transportation of equipment and different things. But we were able to do it, and congratulations that we were able to do it. It was a great success. Haribol. Can we improve on it? Yes. But that requires sitting down and doing what Sai did, and Venkat and Amarata and others, just thinking about how we can improve this and how we can streamline all the activities, right? And make it rational, make it easy to set up, easy to break down, and so forth. So we will do that. We also were very careful this year about calculating the cost price of all the food items that we were serving. We were on the principle that we will only serve those things that cost 25 cents and we can sell for $1. Because the only way we make any money to pay for the festival is on the food. on the prasadam. Also, there's great recognition of Lata, who was able to get this year an $8,500 grant from For Culture and a $5,000 grant from the Redmond Tourist, Redmond Tourism. So a $13,500 grant that she was able to get with the help, of course, of Sai and her husband. But she advocated for us on the acceptance committee. Now, that committee, especially For Culture, they get hundreds of demands for funding. And we got approximately the maximum that you can get out of those hundreds of organizations that are competing for the to be funded. So a great feeling of gratitude to her for that. Okay, so now our next major festival is Janmastami. And every year we get a good crowd at Janmastami. I don't know how the advertisement is going. Yes?
We started very early this year, actually, along with
Okay.
Janmastami Rath Yatra.
Okay. And people generally want to come to the temple, this temple, for Janmastami. They know we make a special effort. So this year we have, for Balaram Appearance Day, that's Monday, a new outfit. And we have another new outfit for the deities for Janmastami, back to back. And the one for Janmastami is something you've never seen before. The one for Balaram also is going to be wonderful. But the one for Janmastami is actually, it's going to shatter all the records, this one. It's the most expensive one we've ever done. And, well, you'll have to wait to see it, but it should be something you'll never forget. And we want to thank Pandava Vijay. Since we've been upgrading all our clothing for the deities, the dresses for the deities, he got so excited that he's been sponsoring it himself. You know, and each set of clothes with the backdrops, with the jewelry and everything, costs over $5,000. Okay, so now for Janmastami, we need to really step up to the plate, as they say in English. This year, by the end of this year, we want to finish the mortgage on this temple. Why? For several reasons. Why? One, this will be at the end of this year, this will be the end of 9 years that we're in this temple. And we began with a mortgage of over $1.5 million, and now it's down to $320,000. So that's pretty good. If we can knock it out completely, it'll be a great, great victory for us. And if we can do it by the end of the year, especially by getting what we call pledges at Janmastami that we can finish by the end of the year, that would be ideal. And it's possible that we can do it. If everybody does something, we'll be able to do it. If just a few people have to do everything, it won't happen. But if everybody, regardless of how much, they pledge and they meet their pledge by the end of the year, it will happen. I can guarantee you. And that should be our goal this year in Janmastami. And we have a theme this year for Janmastami. It's called Become a Cowherd Boy or Cowherd Girl. This is an idea that I came up with my daughter, Krishna Prestaya. It's part of the Vedic village. Especially on Janmastami, we should definitely want to become a cowherd boy or cowherd girl. So if you want to do that, you get a bandana just like Mayapur sometimes wears that bandana. You get a bandana, colored, different colors for men and different colors for women. And you get a chance to also get other paraphernalia that will identify you as a cowherd boy or cowherd girl. So that when you come in front of Krishna for darshan, he's not going to see Mr. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so. He's going to say, oh, these are my gopas and my gopis. That's a good idea, isn't it? And we're going to use the same idea in the Crossroads Rath Yatra Festival and the same idea at this year's Northwest Folklife Children's Festival, October the 8th at the Seattle Center. We've been invited again. We were invited, yeah. We were invited at the Northwest Folklife Festival. They gave us a 60-foot long display, a 10-foot tent at the Folklife Festival cost $2,500. They gave us 60 feet, plus the cow pen. So this is because of the cows. They came, the organizers of the Northwest Folklife Festival, which is the biggest festival in the Northwest. It's even bigger than Bumpershoot. It's one of the biggest festivals in the country. They get way over 500,000 people. They came to the farm, they saw Lakshmi and Narayana, they fell in love with them. And they said, we want them. And they liked it so much at the Northwest Folklife Festival, they called me back again and said, we want you for the Children's Festival, October the 8th. Now, we're also having our own Diwali Festival, October 21st. But I told them, yes, we'll do it. Right. So, and what we're going to do is have this theme of becoming cowherd boy or cowherd girl. Now, that means that cowherd boys and cowherd girls, they protect cows. They live in Goloka Vrindavan. And the whole prosperity of society is based on cow protection and land stewardship or cultivation. So this theme is a big theme. We could very easily influence the whole American society by pursuing this theme in a very practical and constructive way. This would solve all the problems of society if we can convince people to protect the cow and live a simple life by self-sufficiency off of the land and the cow. So if you read the pamphlet that we wrote for Ananda Mela, it explains Prabhupada's vision of cow protection and land stewardship and simple living, high thinking. So we're going to pursue this theme at the Janmastami Rath Yatra Festival, Children's Festival, and Diwali Festival. And we're trying to build up on it. Just like this year, we increased the Vedic village, and it was a tremendous success. Many people were interactively engaging in all the different activities that we had there. Right? So we want to do not quite the same level, but a similar type of thing for Janmastami. We want to promote cow protection and the whole culture of Goloka Vrindavan. Right? That should be our theme. People can enter into this joyful lifestyle of protecting the cows, living off of the natural production of the land, and practicing Krishna consciousness. What better time to do that than at Janmastami, when the temple is all lit up with colors and decoration and gorgeous deities, and continual Harinam. So outside, again, we will set up the whole display. There'll be a stage where children will be chanting Hare Krishna. There will be Govardhan. There will be Tulsi. There will be Julan. There will be Balaji. There will be the Vedic village with interactive things going on. So that by the time people actually get into the temple, they're already purified. They already got, they did Tulsi worship, they circumambulated Govardhan, they had darshan of Balaji, and they got some prasadam. There'll be halva and other types of things in the Vedic village that they can eat. That's prasadam. And they also will be able to hear the children chanting, and they'll be chanting with them. So that before they even get into the temple, they're already purified. We should also have Ganga Jal for everyone with Tulsi, or actually it should be Ganga Jal that's part of the Charanamrita that was offered to the deities bathing, and we should have a large amount of it. So everyone gets Charanamrita with Tulsi. They circumambulate Tulsi, they circumambulate Govardhan. They see Radha and Krishna on the Julan, and they see the Vedic village, simple living, high thinking, and they get a chance to become a cowherd boy and cowherd girl. The whole family, husband and wife, children. So then by the time they come in, they're ready to have darshan of Radha and Krishna and be totally immersed in the kirtan. So in order to do that, we need, again, a large number of volunteers who are going to welcome the people and man the different activities that are going on, distributing a little bit of prasadam already before they have the big prasadam, before they even get into the temple, and the Charanamrita, and so forth. All these different things have to be going on while they're waiting in line. So they're not just bored, but they're actually immersed in Krishna consciousness, and they're hearing the kids chant. And then, when they go into the temple, they'll have a chance to hear about making a pledge to help us pay off our mortgage once and for all this year. Now, as far as that goes, the successful way to raise money, to have a fundraising campaign, is to have pre-existing pledges before the actual day. That's the best way to do it. And if all our devotees can make a pledge, like myself, I'm going to pledge $20,000. That I'll pay before the end of the year. I'll pay most of it right after Janmastami, and by the end of the year I'll finish it. And so if we all make some pledge, whatever we can afford, and whatever we can afford, we should pledge a little bit more than that, so that we have a challenge. My experience has always been in Krishna consciousness, the more I give to the temple, the more Krishna gives me to give. And believe me, it's a fact. The more I give to the temple, the more Krishna has given me to give. Just like when we were building this temple, I pledged $100,000. I actually gave $130,000. When I pledged, I didn't know how I was going to get that money. But Krishna arranged it. My house burned down, and I got all the money for the house, and I was easily able to give $130,000. Now, I didn't know that was going to happen, but it was a stroke of fortune. Krishna arranged it. Because he saw I had a desire to do it, so he made that arrangement. And my house burned down in such a way that everything in it was paid for. Nothing got charred beyond recognition. Everything was burned, but to such a degree that you could still recognize it and account for it. So I went through the list of everything in the house with the insurance adjuster. So they were able to see everything, you know. And they didn't argue about anything. They just gave, by the way, if you ever want to get insurance, you want to work with, what's the name of it? I forget the insurance company now. It's, anyway, I'll think about it. That's the insurance company. They pay for everything. Yeah. Okay, so we should, by the way, we want to also thank Kasam Prabhu. He went around personally getting pledges and donations for Janmastami. I mean, for Rananda Mela. How much did you get? $24,000? $24,000. Very good. Is any of that going to be matched? Some of it? No.
Some of them, including matches?
Yeah.
24,000.
Oh, it's including matches is 24,000. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So now you can volunteer to go around and get $320,000 worth of places. Yeah. If we do this, it's the first step toward opening the Bellevue Temple, because if we pay off the mortgage here, then the value of the Bellevue Temple has increased to such a point that we would be able to get a loan backed up by the Bellevue Temple itself. We wouldn't have to encumber this temple. But because this temple still has a mortgage, the bank would be hesitant to do it. But if we pay this mortgage off, they will not hesitate. When we got the mortgage on this temple for $1.5 million, it was not a secured mortgage, because Ajit Shah's wife, who was our accountant at that time, was working in the bank. And she convinced the bankers that they should not secure the loan, that we were trustworthy people. And we got an unsecured loan for $1.5 million because of him and his wife. Now, since then, if they see that we've been paying the mortgage off here, we're also paying the mortgage in the Bellevue Temple. If we pay this off, they will, I'm absolutely sure, loan us whatever money we need to finish that temple structure inside, to have a school and a temple building. And it'll be secured simply by that property. Because that property, the value of that property is increased over $3.5 million in the last 4 years. $3.5 million in 4 years. It's worth, we bought it for $5.2 million. It's worth over $8 million now. And it's going up. It's going up. I was in Bellevue on Thursday, meeting with the last people that we have to deal with before we get our building permit. We already have the conditional use permit. The last people, and these are traffic survey people, and we did a traffic survey for the outside people coming to the temple, and we had to do a second traffic survey for the internal traffic in the temple, in the parking lot. And they had a meeting with me, and they wanted us to adjust our study. And Praveen Prabhu has done that for free for us. He did a tremendous job. So once we supply the adjusted traffic survey for the inside of the temple parking lot, they will issue the building permit, which means we are in. And if we pay off the mortgage here, we'll get a loan from the bank for another $1 million in order to finish the inside of the temple for a school and for a temple. And then we open. So we're moving forward dynamically now. And if we open that temple in Bellevue, it'll be a great accomplishment because it'll be the first real temple, not some temple in a warehouse or commercial zone. It'll be a real temple. And people will be shocked because it's right in the center of the new downtown of Bellevue, where there will be a campus of UW there. There will be a light rail system station there. This is like, like 1 or 2 blocks away from that building, our temple. There will be a whole shopping complex, gigantic shopping complex. There will be at least 10,000 IT jobs created there. And so forth. So it's going to be the new hub of the downtown of Bellevue in the next 5 years. And we're right in the middle of it. Therefore, it'll be the most prominent place that people can reach from any part of the greater Seattle area, because you have the 405, you have the 520, and you have the I-90, all crisscrossing right near our temple building. So it'll be easy access, and we have parking, which is the hardest thing in Bellevue. We have over 100 parking spaces now. So now, we need a lot of volunteers for this Janmastami. We need, now Radhika Gopinath will not be here. He has a new job in Miami. Devya Dristi and Puja Mataji will be here. We need more book distributors. We need preachers, and we need people manning the booths. I'm estimating we need at least 60 people trained and ready to welcome the public, give out prasadam, explain to them the importance of cow protection and simple living, high thinking, and promoting these things, and also welcoming the people with smiles and Hare Krishnas. Right? Welcoming people. They're waiting in a line. The line last time went all the way down to the high school. Some people, feel discouraged because the line is so long. But once they enter here, they won't be discouraged because they'll be having different darshans and different bits and pieces of prasadam and spiritual activity, and receiving charanamrita, halva, and other savory things right while they're waiting. So they'll be purified before they get into the temple. Then once they get into the temple, they'll have darshan of the deities and the kirtan and so forth. So we need at least 60 volunteers. Now also we have the food booths for prasadam. Usually we get between 8,000 to 10,000 people in a 6-hour period. That's a lot of prasadam. So we need a large number of people manning the prasadam booths. It could be that we'll break all the records this year because we've advertised a lot. A lot of people received our booklet with the advertisement for Janmastami. We spoke to a lot of people telling them about Janmastami. There are a lot of new Indian families in the Seattle area, especially in Sammamish, Redmond area. So we can expect a huge crowd this year, bigger than ever before. So we need everyone to get pumped up and ready. So we will have orientation meeting 1 for the outside preaching booths, and we should have an orientation meeting for the food booths, and then orientation meeting for the pledges for paying off the mortgage, and that'll be taking place inside the temple. Yes? Yeah, but we're gonna set up Friday night. We will advertise that there'll be cultural things going on Saturday and Sunday. Monday will be off, and then Tuesday is Janmastami. So basically, it's a 3-day festival, and we're going to have to start advertising that. Now, what are the cultural events that are going to take place Saturday and Sunday? We should think about that now and organize it. Well, Arangetram is not here, right? So that doesn't count for anything. But we should have something going on here Saturday night and Sunday. And so we have to plan that. Okay. Also, I forgot. We want to thank Pooja and her team. They distributed 200. How many? 40 books or 60 books? How many?
275.
275 books.
1,200 books which for Vedic cow protection.
A pamphlet, yeah. And you collected how much money?
$2,600.
Haribol. Haribol. That's Harinam Sankirtan. Very good. Yeah.
That's the best record we ever created.
Yes. That means that more people came and more people were impressed by the Vedic village. And how about the sign up for the Vedic University? How did that go?
That was not there. I don't think so.
No, wait a minute. Somebody else knows.
80.
Okay. That's all? I heard there was more than that.
That's what they said.
80 registrations. Good. Good.
A lot of people took cows.
And how about the sign up for Sunday school, Vedic school?
That went up, I heard, but
Huh?
that number went up, but I don't know the number.
Yeah, I think that was in the hundreds.
Yeah.
And there was also a request to have the Vedic village more towards Bothal and
Bellevue side.
Winter and that area.
What does that mean? We should do it there?
Yeah,
Who said that?
that's what I heard.
The comments.
From
People are
Sunday
So we speak in the mic.
So we should have a Vedic village festival in Bothell?
No. It's the Sunday school kind of concept. What we have, the Hindi class, Vedic school.
Oh, Vedic
They
school.
want to be in other cities also, like Bothell, Benton.
Yeah.
People visited from them. They wanted to have that kind of.
Where? Bothell?
Yeah, they wanted more towards like Bothell, Renton area because it's very
Renton and Bothell are two different areas, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying they want multiple places actually.
Okay.
Like it's hard for them to come to either Samamish or Bellevue area. So commute is.
Okay.
One north, one south.
Well, we have to do like the Telugu Bharati and Watts and all that. They have Samamish, Bellevue, Bothell, Renton, you know. So we should be able to do the same thing, I think. Just requires organization. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good idea. I like that idea. It's expansion, right?
Prabhuji, I have another question. Again, same question. So we are doing setup on Friday, then we will have Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday.
Yeah.
We have Saturday 19th.
19th. Well, that has nothing to do with this. What?
Or we can continue on that next weekend, 19th August.
Continue it. Well, I mean, it's never worked when trying to continue. People won't come. They might come for 1 or 2 days, but they won't come for a whole week. You know. Hare Krishna.
At least devotees will come for Prabhupada and stay at Janmastami.
That's 15th and the 16th. After that, we have to break it down. Yeah. After that, we have to focus on Rath Yatra. Okay, so are there any suggestions, anything people want to say about Janmastami? So now, if there's nothing to be said, then now we should divide up the team leaders for each thing that we have to get done. Okay? So, let's write down the different activities that need team leaders. One is the whole outside display thing, the Vedic village, the Julan, Balaji, Tulsi, Janamrita, Govardhan, and so forth. Then we have the whole food court, and we have fundraising, and then there is what? Controlling the traffic, in and out of the temple. And outside traffic management too. Inside traffic management, outside traffic management. Have we already booked the police? Have we already booked the police? Have we booked the shuttles? Have we booked the parking lots? Okay. So we have to get booked the police. It's very important. We can't do it unless there's a policeman outside with his police car and the lights flashing all the time. All right? Okay. And we get one policeman or two? Two. Okay. So who would like to be the lead for controlling the traffic inside the temple? This is a big job because you're getting all these people coming in. What we do is, when they finally get in the temple, they have to come up the stairway here, and then they have to come in, and we have the poles that are up. The what? Okay. And that directs them how they can have darshan. So, and then they go down, and then they have to go out and around here to go to the food court. So who is going to be in charge of that? That's a big job.
Usually Krishna Prabhu and Janmastami Prabhu.
Yes? Okay. So, I think we should take all the chairs out of the temple. So that gives more room. And we should get rid of a lot of things that encumber the temple. Right? So all these chairs should be taken out. What do you think? Yeah.
For old people will be many, right? So who wants to sit on the chairs? Maybe in the end, we will keep it.
There is no chance.
In the end.
It's
For elderly people who come,
Old people are there, but
every year they'll come.
what?
Some old people, they wanted to sit, they cannot sit down because of their knee problem.
Just a few chairs we
There's
should
so
keep.
much traffic, people will be
From
moving
this side
in.
we'll take the problem.
That way,
This side will take everything out. That side, they generally, dark it doesn't move there, that doesn't stand still. This side, this is a line.
Okay.
just a few chairs we can
Traffic comes like this and
By the way, before, at least 1 week before, we have to do a complete cleanup, especially outside. So there's nothing, no trash, no encumbering things, nothing that they can trip over, because, you know, and we have to make sure there's lights all over the place. There's no darkness, so that no one trips. So that's a lot of details we have to deal with. Make sure it's all safe. We have to clean up all the junk outside. Okay, so you have to make a traffic plan, right? And do we have to rent more things, or the sturgeons, or we have?
We have enough.
Okay, well, you have to make sure we have enough. Can't wait till the last minute. All right? So you have to write down a list of things that they have to do. The movement of the traffic internally is very important, right? Because we don't want anything to go wrong. Right? Okay. Then, so who wants to volunteer to manage the food booths? Huh? Okay. So, there should be Ekadasi feast for devotees, those who want to keep Ekadasi. And then for the general public, what will we be offering them?
At any given time, we plan to serve 6 items, like last year, every year.
So we're going to have pakoras, French fries,
Either pakoda, French fries, any one fried item will be there, and the ice cream will be there, and
ice cream
ice cream.
for everybody?
Like last every year we serve ice cream.
Okay.
And rice, dal, sabji, halwa. One extra sweet.
All right. So that's a lot of cooking.
Yes, yeah, we already have a plan as.
So you're going to have to cook outside also, right?
Yes, that kind of halwa, Uttar Pradesh is going to make halwa there. Remembering everything is, the planning starts from 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Like
We,
every year, yeah.
we have enough hot boxes?
Yes,
Okay. Now, one thing, let's get one thing straight. We're not giving out any sweets from the altar,
correct.
right? So where are we going to give those sweets out?
That where they're coming, before going to taking from Prashadam night. Like
Okay.
that.
But at what time, though?
First time they gave me last year 9 o'clock. They started from 9.
Okay.
We might have to start early because it's a weekday, next day everybody will go to office.
I can't do it. Assuming we start.
Well, we have halva, we have other things.
Everything. Probably starting about Maharashtra.
We're talking about the sweets on the altar.
Oh, sorry.
Prasadam is going to be offered from what, 7 o'clock on? Yeah.
That's the whole day will serve, but
Yeah. Okay. So here's Amit. Is he in charge or with Manoj or what?
Manoj is to India.
Huh?
Manoj is not here.
Manoj is not here. Okay.
Amit and Amrata will take it.
Okay.
So one suggestion is that the Ekadashi prasadam that we make for devotees, we will always run shorts because many times we do multiple distribution. So I think we need to make sure that there is adequate.
And sometimes it is served to non-devotees
Yeah.
also because they like to see when they see paneer or some other thing, they want to eat that.
Right, so maybe we need to have a clear message that this is only for the fasting. Because usually what happens when we distribute, whatever they get, they just, I'm not saying, just we need to prepare more for
Or maybe
Ekadashi.
we should only allow after midnight.
Usually the Ekadashi prasadam is always served after the midnight aarti. But I think we need to prepare more adequately for all the devotees, even if we distribute for non-devotees or outsiders.
Okay. I agree. What prasadam are they going to have? Quinoa? Huh?
Kima palav, and soup,
Paneer.
Paneer.
paneer paneer goes next day, not that time.
I think
Paneer
paneer.
on the prasada.
Paneer goes. Paneer and
Six items we'll make, rather than planned about that, double the, whatever we are making for the Ekadashi.
I think we make paneer every time.
Huh?
Paneer and capsicum.
Yeah, that we're not making for, that's one of the things. We can't serve that money. We're planning.
Well, I have an idea. We could make a really nice kale, tomato, and potato sabji, all from the farm. Fresh, with dhania. So it'd be juicy and it'd be fresh and all green. So, because we have cabbage now, we have kale, we have collard greens, we have cilantro, and so forth. So we could make a nice big sabji, and then quinoa.
They are using farm potatoes. They were very nice.
Yeah, farm potatoes are very good.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no words. Methi and farm potatoes.
So if you have you have kheer, no, not kheer. You have sabudana kheer. You have a nice juicy sabji and quinoa. That's
We
it.
do make paneer every time, brother. If you want to take it out, that's a different story.
Well, he's saying
I know,
doesn't
but
want
we
to.
have to talk, that's what we have. Ideas are there, you're taking out, that's like one.
Well, you put the paneer in that sabji.
Something changed from the farm, as Madhukar said.
You put the paneer in the sabji, it becomes very good.
Yeah, paneer also comes from farm.
All right, so, okay, well, then we'll make the paneer with the milk from the cows, okay? So that we have a sabji with fresh vegetables and paneer, right. I'll sponsor the paneer.
Chai, I will.
Okay, so that takes care of the Ekadasi prasadam for devotees, those who want to.
And Prabhu, this should be distributed after the midnight aarti, because most
Yeah.
of the devotees will be here in the temple hall. So
Okay.
maybe it's usually around 1:30 it happens by the time we finish midnight aarti and the celebration.
Okay, so now, what about book distributors and fundraisers?
Fundraising, normally Srinivas Acharya, Gaurangpuri Mataji, and now we have leader here.
I'm not a leader. I can
No, you already did, you did for Anand Mela.
If you want, we can take care this year.
And
Of what?
book distribution.
Fundraising.
Fundraising?
Yes.
No.
Along with Kasam.
No, there's two aspects of the fundraising. One is pre-Janmastami fundraising, going around asking devotees what pledge they're going to make. Right, you already have my pledge. So we want to reach $320,000. I think it's possible if we all chip in. It's a noble cause. After all these years and all the benefits people have had from coming to the temple, paying off the temple mortgage is not some, horrible thing. It's a wonderful thing, because we all have a debt of gratitude to Radha and Krishna and Prabhupada for giving us this temple.
pre-existing pledges. I can.
Yeah, okay, you take care of because now, fundraising on the actual night. Now there's a question. The question is, do you want to sell a book or do you want to fundraise? You can't exactly do both, because you're basically approaching people twice that way. You just want to approach them once.
So we give books for free, Prabhuji. We just ask. We don't take care of how many books we are giving. We just give as a gift. We have some gift, we give them, and we ask for donation. So we are basically collecting the funds.
We have lots of colors also.
Yeah, so lots of colors.
You have?
We have to give free.
Last year.
Where are they?
Sitting in one box with me, one whole box we found. There's a 2015 collections, whole box, And 2016 Kalashas are in Yasodollah.
How many do we have?
I will give you the exact count. We have about 75 to 100.
So we can have like Kalash and some price and all that. And also.
And we have all the big books, means presentation books, Krishna book, Rama, presentation.
You have those too?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Last year, whatever we got only we got around 20%.
The primary should be fundraising.
Family
Then
should be fundraising.
the book and other thing we can give as a token of gift.
Exactly.
But we should all be, well, there should be one goal, fundraising for the temple.
Yes.
And
Okay.
every year, Prabhu, me, Radhika Gopinath Prabhu and Yudhishthir Mataji are there. If Radhika Gopinath Prabhu is not there, then it will be very tough. So we need some support.
I told you, right, there was Srinivas Acharya, Gaurangvi Mataji, Srinivas Kasam.
No, because someone's doing the pre-event
But on the
fundraising.
day also we do that.
On the day also.
On the day also
You also? Okay. But by the way, he's the most famous person in this temple. You know, he's got that spread in the middle of the Ananda Mela book. Everybody knows who you are. You know? Who? Okay.
Yeah, that is good.
Good.
Because we need some people outside also. We can take care of the inside, and the outside also we need.
And Vidyasagar Prabhu is also there.
Well, there has to be a training. There should be, each team should have training. 1 or 2 trainings before Janmastami. And each team leader should be part of it.
Prabhuji, I want to say
Each
that-
team leader has to organize those meetings with his or her team.
So Prabhu, kids were very successful for the last 2 hours of Ananda Mela. They were like fabulous. They, even after seeing, like Pranay, his 4-year-old brother also started distributing books. Everybody they took BTG and they gave $10, $20 without even thinking.
Okay, so now it's not
So donation also.
book distribution, it's fundraising to pay off the temple
They are
mortgage.
coming whole summer, Prabhu, listening to your classes, so they are like very well trained. Today they helped me to come up with a total of all the books in 2 hours or 3 hours.
Well, if we have a group of kids that are,
Trained to speak and read.
yeah,
It will be really good. They have the most powerful thing. Nobody will say no to them. But we need donation boxes to if we really want to do that. We are all the time. we
now
are
wait a minute, wait a minute.
lack of donation.
Okay. What we need is training. Everyone has to be on message. It has to be the same message. So, who's going to be in charge of the fundraising for the day of Janmastami? I remember those years where we were able to raise over $100,000. People were already outside as they entered. Before they entered the temple, there was a table, and we had signs on the table about what goal we're trying to reach.
We had
And
one outside,
yeah,
one here upstairs.
right.
And then in between we stood and we started talking. And
Yes.
with the tile, one pamphlet which contained mortgage,
Yes,
payout, and with the tile and
exactly. So it was very highly organized, and it succeeded. Why don't you be in charge of the?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
Prabhuji, because you will take it from different.
Okay. Damodar Prasad is in charge. Harivilas. Oh, then. But the secret to raising money is you have to make a pledge first yourself. You can't really raise money unless you make a pledge. That way you can tell people, I pledged $30,000. Right?
yes, Srinivas Kasam is now.
No, we can't just depend on him. He's going to make the pre-festival pledges, but we need, the people that are going to be trying to raise funds during the day itself, Janmastami, they have to have
So I'll pledge $10,000.
only 10,000. Come on, if a poor guy like me can do $20,000, you can do $20,000.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, 20,000.
All right, very good. Don't be afraid. Krishna is going to help you.
Prabhuji, last year devotee pledges were very less, so we need there also devotee pledges and the people who are there. And then we want a display.
No, okay. Kasam Prabhu is going to go around to all the devotees.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll come to you.
Yeah. She'll do $20,000.
Yes.
Will you do $20,000, Pooja?
It should be voluntary.
Come on. You have the money. Come on.
Yeah.
IIT.
Say yes. Come on, you're IIT.
Yeah.
Okay, $20,000. All right, we're at 60 already. See? It's not difficult. All right. Next is Venkat, of course. No, leave Kasam alone. He's going to shock you. He's going to shock all of us. So he's gonna, I won't say shock. He'll shame all of us. Once he says how much he's going to give, we're going to go around again so we can increase to not be shamed. Anyway, all right. So now we have team leader for the fundraising. The day of Janmastami, we have a team leader for fundraising before Janmastami. We have a team leader for the food booth, right? Amit and yourself, right? And we've already spoken about the Ekadasi Prasadam for devotees. Okay. And we have traffic, inside traffic. We don't have, do we have outside traffic? No. Okay, we don't have outside traffic. Outside traffic is a real, let's say, has to be a really dedicated person, right? That means, because it's a big job. It's a very big job. You have to also coordinate with some kind of a walkie-talkie, maybe with the buses. How many buses are we going to have? One? Okay, there's one bus. But where's the bus drop-off? Is it next door here, or is it in here?
Well, last year, from here to in front of the church.
Here?
Where the bus stop is there?
Okay.
There.
Where the bus stop is. So that's under police control? Okay. So, like I said, it's a big job, and it's fundamental. And by the way, are we going to control the parking in the neighborhood? We have to control the parking. At least we have to have signs or something.
You put the signs, Prabhu. That's where we get the second police officer. He will just make sure that nobody parks. But
okay.
By the time we realize that everything's already full, actually the signs doesn't work.
You can put
Well, as long as they don't illegally park, but yes, that's a problem. So
that's a problem, and we keep announcing when the devotees enter the temple.
well, by that time it's too late.
I know, but
No, see, this is part of the traffic control thing. People are going to be dropping off. People are dropping off people, right? Are we letting them drop off people by coming in and going out?
No, they can't. Are they?
No drop off.
No drop.
Where is the drop off? Okay, so if you say it, then somebody has to be there. And that person has to instruct the people. First of all, there's got to be signs that they drop off there. They cannot drop off in the temple.
Only for the seniors and handicapped. No drop off anywhere. Only for seniors and handicapped.
Well, obviously that's not going to be followed.
the main violation happens is probably in this community in the back. That's where we get most of the problem and the force.
Okay, what can we hire someone to be there?
Yeah, then we need somebody to hire from the whole day.
The whole day?
That's the only solution for it, because we don't know when they're going to come and park.
It's only for the night of 15th?
Well, we could. I mean, you could probably hire Omar and one of his friends. Because he and his friends did a pretty good job at Ananda Mela, I think.
Yeah, they were moving around with the tractor.
Yeah, so we can hire one or two of his friends, and plus him, to control the traffic in the neighborhoods. Now, somebody has to be controlling the drop-off here, because that person will also give the information where people can park. So we have to have a little printed thing.
We have those cards from past 50 years. Parking locations are the same.
Should we start distributing from coming this whole week?
And it should be on it should also be on our webpage, where to park for Janmastami, and where they cannot park.
You should also send email in Vaishnav Seva so that all our devotees
Okay.
also know.
Okay? Our devotees are the worst violators.
Vaishnav Seva website.
You'll have like 15 cars in Amritananda's house. Right? Okay, so who will be in charge of that? The outside traffic. Should we put Omar and his friends?
Yeah, some,
Okay.
yeah, somebody adult, right?
Manu Bharadwaj,
Yeah,
Prabhu, he used to do.
No, don't count on him.
He's not coming.
No, it's not, physically he's not able to do it. No, I think Omar and his friends could do it if they know they're going to get paid and they have to do a good job, or otherwise we won't pay them. If they do a good job, we should pay them and give them a little bonus. Because they have to do it all night long, at least till 1 o'clock, right?
Since this is a weekday, I think we'll have a heavy flux of featuring till 9, 10. After that, it is going to fade away.
Devotees, mostly devotees.
People come 12 o'clock also.
Yes,
Huh? What?
Library goes all the people.
What?
12 o'clock aarti it will be full.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside is coming.
Yeah.
Not other people.
Okay. So, all right, so that's outside traffic, and inside traffic is taken care of. Food court is taken care of.
The Maha cleanup outside cleanup.
Before the event or after the event? Before the event. Okay, so that is our Radhapati, right?
Yeah.
Where is he? Did he go on vacation or something? Where is he?
I saw Mataji maybe an hour before.
I think
I'll call.
You have to contact him.
what about after?
Haribol, Mr. Dabeli. Haribol. Pao Bhaji. Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. You did a great job. Yes. Okay, so yeah, he has to organize a major cleanup. Okay. Now what's left? There's some other things.
Dishes, the washing.
Okay, washing. That has to go on all day on Janmastami, because they'll be doing massive cooking, and if those dishes are not clean, they can't really cook effectively. It'll have to go on from like when they start until they stop. That might be 12 hours straight.
They already requested Janmastami Prabhu to arrange some outside for plate.
Okay. Oh, by the way, the most important thing is how we're going to handle the trash. Now, every year, we have to order a big trash bin besides the ones we have. And it has to be brought in before we do the setup. We're going to do the setup Friday night.
I always order it.
Okay. All right. And then the pickup will be after we break down. You
You can do it, pick up 1 week after.
have to be a week, yeah.
It's the same cost.
Yeah, okay. So let's not forget that. That's really important. Otherwise, there's trash everywhere.
How about
Huh?
bathrooms outside?
What?
Honey buckets.
Honey buckets outside?
Honey buckets.
They're all ordered.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come.
Honey bucket, shoe bags, and lights. We are ordering 2 lights that you will get from Sunbed.
But we need our own lights
Yes, small lights.
all over the temple, all over the garden area, and especially lighting up this pathway. Right? Somebody's got to be in charge of that. The whole temple has to be lit up. I heard someone wanted to sponsor lighting up the front of the temple.
Yes, so Monday I am contacting them, Monday lighting people. I'll give the quote, if they agree, we'll start work on through there.
No, no, sponsorship. Somebody can.
Sponsor the lights, temple.
To light up the front of the temple. Front and maybe the side also. Okay.
Then we have
And the trees outside.
sweets distribution and internal cultural activities. The two activities, main activities.
The sweet distribution.
We have lots of sweets and we should have plan how to distribute.
Oh, that'll be from 9 o'clock on.
We'll distribute here?
No. We said we're not distributing
Yeah.
here. Right? And by the way, there should be no peanuts in anything. No nuts. All the sweets have to be milk sweets. No, nothing fried in oil. Everything has to be, if they're fried, it has to be ghee. Otherwise, we should not accept it. We're not going to accept any sweets made outside commercially,
Yeah.
right, that are fried in oil.
Yeah. Whatever the sweets or anything going on are done by the pujaris. That's what.
What?
They already started cooking.
Okay, but everything has to be milk sweets.
Yes.
Nothing fried in oil. Everything has to be made in ghee.
If they fry in oil, if they want to make any fry, it's ghee is okay.
Yeah, ghee.
Okay.
Nothing else.
So the distribution we'll do later, right?
Distribution will be from 9 o'clock on outside,
Outside.
not here.
Yeah. Then the cultural activities here, the programs.
Okay, the program, yeah, we should talk about. Well, is Hari Bhakti Day going to be here?
He's coming.
Okay, well, he'll be in charge of that.
He will sing for hours, but we have our devotee kids who all want to sing. We have to have a plan and maybe some dance. Do we have dance?
No dancing, no dancing, and the devotee kids will be performing outside all night long, at least till 11 o'clock. Hari Bhakti Day should be in charge of what's going to happen here. We should only have the best, singers. Okay.
Balaji is coming, right?
Yes.
Prabhu, are we bringing Balaji this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Have to.
And do we do Abhishekam also?
Okay. Abhishekam. Yes. Previously we did several Abhishekams, starting from what time?
We start 7:30, right? Right off.
Yes.
Set up here and there.
Well, no. I would.
9:30 starts.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let's think about this carefully. Because Abhishekam causes a bottleneck.
We should have fixed hours and done with it. We should not continue until.
Now, here's what I think. I think that we should have Abhishekam outside, starting early. So, because we're going to have Julan. So they can have Abhishekam next to the Julan outside. And the big Abhishekam, see, if you have it in here, it just causes a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Abhishekam we do downstairs there.
We do outstairs also couple of years.
Like every
But we should have fixed time for it. Continuous like.
No, it should be part of, Julan, Balaji, Tulsi, Vedic Village, Govardhan, Abhishek.
Should we stop just before 12 o'clock?
Yeah,
So that people can.
Yeah.
get inside,
yeah,
So we'll start around 7:30 then?
yeah. Yeah.
That normally Radhapati Prabhu takes care of the Abhishek and Pasana, and we can tell him. And
Okay.
Pandavija Prabhu.
So we continual Abhishekam for everybody. This way everyone gets a chance, right?
Do it, Abhishek. 7:30 to 11:45. Radhapati Prabhu takes care of them, right? All the Abhishekam stuff. Of course, Pandaji Prabhu also. Yes. Very small.
If we don't do it here, everything will be, focused on the kirtan,
Yeah, we agree with that.
right? And there won't be some extra activity. Kirtan and darshan. So we do the abhishekam outside. And everyone will have a chance. They-
1.5 hours, right?
huh?
Only 1.5 hours?
No, we do it from 7:30 on, right up to 12 o'clock.
7:30 to 11:45.
What?
We'll start at 7.
Yeah, okay, start at 7. It's part of the different activities outside.
Yeah, Pandaji Prabhu just called, he's attending online. He says normally we keep it next to Balaji
Yes,
and outside.
yeah.
But we'll go up to 11:45 because people want to come inside also, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And people expect to have abhishekam.
Yeah.
They expect it.
Balaji means you get whole setup, whole temple.
I have to talk to Janmastami. He's very reluctant to set it up. It's a lot of work, setting up, breaking down. But if he knows it's going to stay set up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's almost 1 week. He might agree to do it. Because,
What we did in Anand Mela is also fine. That also looks good.
yeah, well, last year we didn't set it up.
Yeah.
Small one.
Yeah, but what we put Anand Mela looks good. That whole
But, when you set it up, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
so I'll talk to him. As long as he knows he doesn't set it up and break it down right away. It's going to stay there for like almost a week. So then he'll be more willing to set it up.
I think it blocks the trash area and it blocks our operations, right? If you put Balaji for a week there.
That's why you have to put the dumpster, the big dumpster, before they begin setting it up. Okay, when he comes back, I'll discuss with him. Okay.
So, Prabhu, Pankaj Prabhu brought another important
Yes.
point that usually some people, they observe either one day before or one day after. So they come.
That's why we have a 4-day festival.
Monday, are we doing Monday also?
Well, let's look on the calendar. When are the Hindus going to?
Actually, it is on Monday. So in India, it is on 14. 14.
Okay,
so
so
people actually follows Indian time. I mean,
yes.
India is a celebration.
Okay,
they
so
come-
then we'll do Monday, Tuesday. We'll
Yeah.
do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I think we should do Monday.
Tuesday and then maybe we come on Wednesday also, right?
And Wednesday, yeah. Wednesday is for Prabhupada, but other people come on Wednesday.
Because Janmastami means they think Krishna was born in the midnight.
Yeah, so they come the next day, yeah.
So, Prabhu, I think suggestion is that since there is a Arangetram for Sanjay Prabhu,
Yeah.
let's do it from Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. So 3 days is what is planned for it.
No. Look, not everybody, I mean, you can't stop the people from coming. So they're going to come, they're not going to see anything. And the other thing is we want to set up earlier. We want to, because if we want to make a big setup, it's going to take time. The wall takes time. If we're going to set up Balaji, that takes time. And then once you set it up, then you have to decorate it. The setup will take at least 2 days. Anyway, the Arangetram is at what time?
Saturday evening.
3 to 7. 3 to 7.
6 to 7.
Okay, fine. So that's not going to change
So
anything.
volunteering there also. Same devotee said volunteering to help.
Okay, now 1 million people are not going to come on Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right? But at least we're set up.
Yeah, but Saturday is 12.
No, only Monday it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you're all,
People will mostly show up on Monday.
Yeah, which is Sunday to Monday to
yeah, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there'll be large crowds.
Yeah.
Okay? But we should be set up Friday, Saturday.
The setup, yes.
Setup is
Yeah, setup, not the actual thing.
It's going to take 2 days to set up. It's going to take, I guarantee you.
I was mistaken that even Saturday also we are like celebrating.
No.
but
It's the setup.
I mean, the idea is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay?
then we are
And that's what we have to advertise.
One more crowd is big, right? And people standing in a queue all the way to the up to
Maybe,
to
yeah.
up to the skyline and all this thing. So we need to have, as you suggested, I think I vaguely remember, but you suggested that we need to have some entertaining for them, that they cannot be just like standing for hours and hours. It's kind of a distance.
No, you need two things. You need traffic flow.
Yeah. We have to make.
That's really important. That's why we don't want to have any. We don't want to have any bottleneck here, and many people will come early to leave early.
Yeah.
That's why we have to be organized early. Now I know Tuesday's a work day, but by 6 o'clock, everybody should be in place. Everything should be ready, and people will start coming 6 o'clock. They come in, they have darshan. They go out, they have prasadam. So by 6 o'clock on, there should be prasadam, there should be darshan, everything should be in place.
But what my point is, like, irrespective of that, line still grows, and then it goes to the skyline.
It'll only grow if there's a bottleneck here. If the traffic flow is regular, unless there's a huge crowd. If the traffic flow
at some point of time, Prabhu, there will be a bottleneck. Such a huge inflow.
Because a lot of people come.
Okay, so what are you suggesting?
My point, I'm actually just adding stress a couple of things to what you added. So we need to entertain in the sense, like you talk about something like prasadam. So what I'm saying, maybe we can have small boat, like small boat or small boats. We can have some kind of refreshment, maybe a small cup of.
No, we're going to have that.
Lemonade or no, while in the line, because they come with the.
We're going to have that in the Vedic village.
He's saying
no, I'm saying while in the queue itself, because.
We mean you mean in the queue down to the high school? You're going to feed them.
One person can just serve like.
They throw it on the.
Yeah,
they throw it on the sidewalk.
Generally, people who come for darshan, they don't like to eat.
Oh, okay. No, like it's a hot day, so lemonade or something like that.
No, that's a good idea. It is a hot day.
It's not water or lemonade or something which for at least kids or something.
Give it when they enter in the temple premises, maybe, and put trash.
Again, if they are so close, why they will take it before?
No, they're outside. When they have darshan, that line comes like this.
You can have a water or lemonade booth.
I mean, nobody throws it. I don't think anybody throws on the road. Like,
we can voluntarily ask.
Or we can have like in the plane, they come after some time to collect all those things. So somebody can collect garbage, just collect all the glasses or whatever. I mean, just to make people some interest in like standing in the queue for a long time, like half an hour.
No, it's a good idea. Okay, we need a cart.
Whatever, yeah.
We need a water, juice,
At least, juice,
cart.
lemonade, something like that.
We have the dolly, bro. We can use the dolly for.
Lemonade and water and cups.
Yeah.
And a trash can attached, trash bag attached.
Kind of refreshment for people because it's hot and people.
Yeah, you need you need some guy with chai, with a hat on and everything. Yeah, we can decorate a cart with water and lemonade or whatever.
And at the same time, we can take opportunity to give pamphlets or something for them to read while instead of making hurry and attacking. Oh,
Yeah.
you need to. So they have enough time for going through all those.
Okay, we'll do that.
proposing.
Who's going to be in charge of that? Kids should be in charge of that. Yes.
But we need some adult also because it's on the right on next to the road.
Yeah, carrying cart.
No.
But somebody, adult has to do it. Kids can serve it, but somebody has to.
Okay, I know who can do it. Pankaj can do it.
Yeah.
So he can do it. He's in the food.
Have to do.
He's doing pakoda.
Okay, how about some of the women?
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji can do it.
Which one?
We'll find.
So let's get some volunteers. Yes.
Satish Prabhu wants to take that service.
Okay.
Satish Prabhu.
Okay.
There you go.
We still haven't settled who's going to be washing all the dishes.
He said he's hired.
Help is coming from outside, Prabhuji. Sundar, I request Sundar Prabhu to take the charge.
Okay. Yes.
I was saying with lemonade we could also give some of the Mahaprasadam because we have to distribute those sweets anyway.
Which Mahaprasadam?
Like the sweets that we get from the altar. Anyway.
No. I mean, you can have halwa, but I think you just stick to liquids. Just stick to liquids.
Yes, Prabhu, that is good. Last year we did that.
No, because by the time they get in here, they'll have halva and other things. Okay, one thing we miss every year is donation boxes.
Yeah.
Now this year we have 10 of them. Yesterday I added, you want 8 of them. For Anandamil I added altogether 10 people.
And then we have spare.
No, wait a minute. Okay, first of all, is this donation box going to be here? No, we take that away. So what's going to replace that? Previous years we had 2 donation boxes on both sides of the altar. Or should we have something like they have in Tirupati, something they just throw in?
That we can set near Balaji.
Yeah, near Balaji we should have a very great fooding.
Yeah, like that Tirupati will be very good because kids are very excited.
So can we, someone has to build it.
Yeah.
And it has to be decorative, very decorative. And it's got to say, you know, Don. What?
He will make that big Tirupati style pudding.
Do you know what it looks like?
You need a utensil. You need a big utensil and tie the cloth like this, funnel.
Like a drum and
Cloth.
But it's got to have a big opening, orifice. It can't be a small thing.
Yeah, like a funnel. And then you can tie that to the... But you need help.
I want to see the design before you build it. Okay, what else? Okay, so we'll have a cart serving juice right up to the high school. What else?
And I think we should also plan for the Prabhupada
What?
next day, because next morning. That also we should actually.
Next morning?
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, right? Or what, evening?
12 o'clock.
No,
16.
I think we should do it in the evening.
Evening.
No one will be here at 12 o'clock.
So if that's the case, then
It's a work day also, right?
yeah. So you need to plan anything for 16 specifically. Only devotees there.
No, people will come. There's always people that miss Janmastami that come.
So the cooking continues, and maybe for the Janma, Prabhupada appearance day.
Yeah.
Are there anything else?
It's basically a 4-day celebration. It's Saturday. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4-day celebration. We have to advertise 4-day celebration: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So Prabhuji, we need more volunteers because on a sustained basis, Monday, Tuesday both are working days.
Yeah.
Veera Prabhu birthday and Damodar Beta Prabhu birthday.
And Srujana.
Srujana, Veera and Damodar Prasad.
Birthday, yeah? Birthday.
No, yes, other thing.
Whose birthday?
Srujana.
Damodar Prasad